Yeah. So then she walked away.
Common sense.
And then she came in, and I think she either talked to Linda or Carol. I think it was Linda.
Yeah, she might have talked to Linda. I
She
didn't
came
speak
in
with
to
her.
talk to you.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I can't take that one. I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening and those watching on TV, and I'd like to welcome and acknowledge our new member of the board, Michael Prisco.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, first item on our agenda is to meet with the Minuteman Militia. I take it Mr. O'Brien is here for that purpose? Is there anyone else coming?
Time is fleeting, another year going by. It's official. The parade is on. Fun time, Memorial Day. The official is to invite you to the parade. Be there, please. Like to have you on board. And we'll make a promise again this year that we will not slot you in behind the horses or dodging road apples.
I think that-
Also, if anybody's prepared to bring a bicycle for the bicycle parade, please be there by 9:15. We had a few people a little late last year, so if you're bringing your bicycle for decoration purposes, be there at 9:15.
9:15 is when they're going to award the prize, or are they going to do the review? Or,
So you just be there by 9:15.
okay.
But whatever, the fact is, it is that time again, and even though our ranks are being depleted by age, and we'd like to start a recruitment program. We're on again this year, sponsoring the parade, and again, we'd like very much to officially welcome you to the parade. Mr. Town Administrator?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll go as far as ask the board members here who plans on attending.
I do.
I hope to be.
Okay.
I'll be away.
We'll all be there.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, is Mr. Hingston here yet? No? I don't see him. No, I don't either. Well, let's do the minutes. We'll see what happens. Mr. Prisco,
Okay.
if you need some help, Steve is right over there.
No, sorry, I already told him I'm gonna cheat off him.
I told him he could have picked a better seat.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the May 6th, 2010 reorganization minutes
Second.
as written.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? That was easy.
First
Michael.
motion you made, unanimous. You're on a roll.
And he could even vote on it, because he was there. Okay, we have correspondence sheets. You'll find, let's see what's there. Were there none?
There was a yellow sheet.
There's a yellow sheet,
There was.
Yep.
Have to
a couple items on it.
What did I do on mine? There it is. So Michael, just so you know, if there's anything you want that might be on here, just pass it down and
Okay,
she'll get it to you.
thank you.
Okay?
Very good.
Anyone here for public comment? Mr. Hingston is here. Mr. Hingston, you have the floor.
Not gonna pull up there like
Sure.
usual?
Sure.
Yeah, let's, you want, if you want a reference, we can pull the,
At the podium, or you just
Podium.
want to pull up?
If I just pull up a chair and, is
pull up a chair.
that okay?
Absolutely.
That's the usual.
Yep.
I haven't met you before, I'm Dick.
I'm Dick, Mike Prisco. Pleasure meeting you.
Welcome again.
Thank you. Through the budget process?
3 weeks.
Right.
3 weeks.
We've delayed the passing of the budget items until June 7th. Our normal April town meeting is the first Monday in April. It's the second, well, it's actually the third year that we've delayed it. This is the second year we've delayed it into June,
Yeah,
and it's worked out quite well.
more information from the.
Right. And we will be voting on a balanced budget for FY 2011 this evening. So the board members received this, and they've had a chance to review it over the weekend, so
Want me to jump into it?
absolutely.
First, thanks for letting me do the audit this year, appreciate that. I think that these exit conferences work better if they're a conversation more than a presentation, so if you have any questions or anything, feel free to comment or jump in at any time. I'd like to start by saying that I think you have a good finance team. There's no material weaknesses or no significant deficiencies in the management letter. Basically, it's an informative letter, more than a lot of them that have a lot of findings related to poor accounting controls. It's a good time to talk about it, but there's like a big three in accounting. It's just like a basketball. We got, in accounting, it's cash, accounts receivable, and debt. And if you're reconciling those three things, then you're in pretty good shape. You're not gonna get yourself into a lot of trouble. And last year, as is the norm for the town, those three were all reconciled, and we have no issues with any of those. So usually if you're reconciling those three things, other issues that potentially could develop pop up. So I'm not saying there'll never be an audit adjustment or they're making a misposting, but in total, things will be okay. So with that, I'll jump in to the management letter. Also, I'll revisit all these procedures next year because there were a lot of changes because of the new accounting system. So I'm sure there were a lot of changes in procedures with the new accounting system.
When you're referring to new accounting system, you're referring to our internal
Yeah.
units, okay?
Yeah. In 2009, the town implemented something called Governmental Accounting Standard Board Statement Number 45. And that deals with other post-employment benefit costs. And that really is retirees' health insurance and life insurance. Until now, there's been, when somebody works for you, you don't report an expense for it for retirees' health insurance until they retire. So it's different than the commercial world. I liken it to for Social Security. When somebody works with you for Social Security, they pay in their 7.65, an employer makes the 7.65 match. And when they're gone, when they retire, they're gone, and that expense is gone. For retirees' health insurance, you don't start paying for the expense until they're retired. So when they retire, there's really an unfunded liability. And the Standard Board, Governmental Accounting Standard Board, GASB, they suggest that we should at least show the liability as it occurs while they're earning the benefit. So right now, you had an actuarial study done, and the liability as of July 1st, 2007 was over $37 million. And now that's a real big number, but even for like-sized communities. And one of the reasons is because you haven't accepted Section 18 of I think it's 32 Mass General Laws that allows you to move people from to Medicaid when they reach 65. And if you move them to Medicaid, then you make the feds a partner in your health insurance, and you would just pay for the supplemental insurance they have above and beyond. So I think it might be a good idea, just before you make that leap, is to either take your prior evaluation or the next time you have a valuation done, and ask them to calculate it as if you had accepted Section 18. And I think you'll see that the liability will drop fairly significantly. And then you can make a judgment on what you want to do about that.
That is rather interesting, because we do have in the town warrant acceptance of Article 18 and an additional article, acceptance of 18A. So it's under consideration at this point.
All right. Well, I don't know, you recently, the valuation you had, they have all the numbers, so, I mean, I don't know if Joe could give them a call and say, you know, how much of a difference would it make, you know, so it might be something that you could bring to the town meeting.
Well, that's
What
great
piece?
information.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, they might be able to give you, without even, doing the whole calculation, they might be able to give you a ballpark, you know, otherwise they'll probably charge you to do some calculations, you know, but. I had someone that had like a 40-something million dollar valuation, and when it went down to about $12 million with the.
They accepted Section 18?
Yeah. Now, the liability doesn't have to be reported in your financial statements all at once. There's a 30-year phase-in period. So that's the liability if you pay it right now, $37 million. If you would take, go out and bond $37 million, put it in, then you'd have a completely funded plan. But what they do is they calculate interest, and they use actuarial tables and say, if we phase it in over 30 years, then in 2009, you had to book $2,597,000 in your financial statement this year. So this caused the net assets of your town to go down by that amount. And over time, it's gonna be phased in by similar amounts every year. So your net assets are just gonna keep going down and down and down. So continual decreases in net assets